Well, right here in Harrison County, the Federal Communications Commission reports more than 92% of the population has access to broadband internet. But a recent report says it's only 30%. And here to explain what that means for the community moving forward is Public Service Commissioner Sam Britton. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me on your show. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
The FCC map is incredibly important, and everybody says why. It comes down to money. Because the federal government does give money each and every year to the company to expand the internet service. And Mississippi has benefited greatly from this. So it's incredibly important that we make sure to get these maps right. And obviously if we have a map that's saying we're 90% covered and we're not, then that's a big issue. So we want to make sure to continue the pressure to make sure that the FCC gets these maps correct, because if we do not, we may miss out on some funds that come to help expand the broadband internet service. Now, another thing I want to address too is there's a misconception about broadband and the speed. One thing I would say is when you start talking about internet, make sure to talk speed. The definition of broadband, as it is used here, is uploads or downloads of 25 and uploads of 3. There are many, many people who do not have anywhere near that level of service.
Okay, so this information is definitely important for people to, what are the consequences of this? You kind of touched on it a little bit before, but if we're not knowledgeable, if we're not aware of this, what are the consequences for rural communities?
For rural communities, it may mean that they may not get internet expanded for years. So it's incredibly important to make sure these maps are correct, and Senator Wicker has been very vocal to the FCC about making sure to get these maps up to make sure that you can have money spent to where the areas do not have internet access.
All right, now Mr. Britton, you're also running for Secretary of State.
Yes. I'm completing my first term as Public Service Commissioner, and of course the reason I ran was the Kemper Project. And of course the Kemper Project has come to an end, and I'm proud to have been an integral part of that. And I've protected the ratepayers, and Mississippi Power had to write off $6.5 billion. Now, one of the things as far as Secretary of State is always elections and also public lands such as the tidelands. That's very important. But I also believe economic growth is vitally important.
Right.
So I think that I'm going to focus on helping to grow a strong economy, because if you have a strong economy, you have money for roads, bridges, and education.
All right, Mr. Britton, I'm so sorry to cut you off. We're running out of time here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right.